Now, from Toledo's news leader, this is WTOL News 11 at 11.
The family of a missing Wood County man seeks spiritual help in finding their loved one. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jerry Anderson.
And I'm Chris Peterson. New at 11 tonight, Colleen Wells has the story of a worried family taking a major spiritual step to find their loved one, Terry Wallace. So Colleen, tonight they're hoping a psychic can bring them closer to Terry.
Yeah, Chris, really they're hoping anything can bring them closer to Terry. He was last seen here at the Meyer in Rossford. He was captured by a security camera, just like the one you're about to see. He has not been seen since being spotted here by that security camera. Now more than a week later, his loved ones, well, they're trying everything to find him.
I see there's a man that's around him that's passed away.
It's a place they never thought they'd be, talking about a situation they never thought they'd face.
There's one of you ladies that needs to know that he's sorry.
For nearly an hour, Tracy and Wendy Wyrick met with an intuitive counselor or psychic looking for answers to their brother-in-law Terry Wallace's mysterious disappearance.
We, I think, felt helpless. We didn't know what we could do.
Any kind of hope, any kind of help.
Terry has not been seen for more than a week. His family has only received this hardly legible letter, postmarked in Texas, and they're not even sure if it's from Terry. They say they have tried everything to help him, and although both women say they've never looked to psychics before, this reading can only help.
Even if, 4 or 5 minutes of what she says is true and the rest isn't true, then at least we have that.
Kimmy, the counselor, provided some much-needed optimism. She thinks Terry is okay.
And I just think what he did was he just felt like he needed to get away.
Tracy and Wendy say they'll take information from this reading and hopefully find their missing brother-in-law.
We love him and want him to come home, and that he should call one of us, and we just need him to come home.
If you see him, call your local law enforcement, and we want him to come home.
Colleen Wells, News 11.
Tonight, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers and safety officials are attempting to shortstop any attempts to lower the drinking age from 21. At present, the U.S. has the highest drinking age in the world, and MADD says it needs to stay that way.
Our society should not tolerate the repeal or weakening of laws that have been proven to save teenagers' lives.
The 21 law saves lives and protects young minds. It's that simple. It keeps our roadways safe and helps keep alcohol where it belongs, out of the hands of our youth.
Now, opponents of the 21 drinking age point out that the vast majority of the world sets the minimum age at 17 or 16 or has no minimum age at all. And that if you're old enough to fight in our wars, you should be old enough to drink alcohol. New at 11, Tim Miller live tonight in North Toledo, gauging reaction here in Northwest Ohio. So, Tim, what are folks saying?
Yeah, Jerry, we've been in and around several bars here in Toledo tonight. A lot of traffic coming in and out of this place on Adams Street. And we found a mixture of opinions. Some say bottoms up to letting 18-year-olds drink, but others telling us a change in the law would give them an empty feeling. On one of the last warm nights of the season, a busy night at local bars, and no shortage of opinions on lowering the drinking age to 18. These friends say it's time.
If you're 18, you can vote for important issues such as laws or who's governing, a community or a body of people. Then if you can vote like that, you should be allowed to do things like drink alcohol and feel like you're an adult.
They should be coming out and drinking with us.
Stephen Akers is visiting downtown Toledo from Michigan. He even sees an economic benefit.
You can go to war, sure. It sounds like a good idea. I think it'll add, extra tax revenue, and I think it should be, it could be good for extra states and all that.
But for all those who want the age limit lowered, there are others that immediately said, no way.
They're not mature enough sometimes to even drink Kool-Aid.
Jeremiah Bishop predicts an increase in problems on local roadways.
You're just learning how to drive. I mean, what, you're going to run us off the road?
I definitely feel it's a bad idea, only because we get the privileges of voting at 18 and they don't want to do that. And that's a great thing to do, but yet they want to go to drinking.
Others say lowering the limit would lead to more crime.
I don't think they will be able to handle the effects of alcohol and drinking, cases to where people getting shot, fights, and all that.
In Toledo, Tim Miller, News 11.
Wow, what a difference a day makes, huh?
I guess so. It seems October has finally arrived. Robert Shields is in the Storm Track 11 Weather Center with the latest on our cooling trend.
Yeah, I almost want to say, oh, you have no idea until you get out of bed tomorrow morning and stroll around during the middle of the day. Temperatures will have a tough time getting much above 50 tomorrow. First off, look at this streak of weather that we've had. Let's go back to last Friday. Highs in the 80s to close to 90, 4 days in a row. And then today, our high was 75. Well, here's a look at tomorrow. 49 to start the day. Some light rain showers or drizzle in the afternoon. A cloudy day, a little bit breezy, and a high temperature in the low to mid 50s across much of the area. There's going to be a big change. We're talking fall jacket and tote the umbrella along. We'll take a look at the 7-day, including the upcoming weekend for you coming up.
When it does get cold, it's going to cost us all a lot more to heat our homes. On average, Americans will spend close to $1,000 heating their homes, which is about 10% more than last year. New at 11 tonight, the government predicting a big jump in heating costs, and the worst hit will be homes that rely on oil. Thanks to the surging cost of crude, the average household will spend $319 more on heating oil this winter, which is a 22% jump. Fuel suppliers are warning customers to proceed with caution.
Filling up your tank when you really don't need oil is just, again, gambling. You don't know. If you fill up today and oil prices turn out to drop, you made an error.
The increase for natural gas is less extreme than for heating oil, about a 10% increase, which translates to about $78 more than last year. The weather does get some of the blame. The government predicts winter will be 4% colder this year, boosting demand for all fuels. A chilling forecast for homeowners.
Well, thousands of Chrysler workers are waiting for word tonight on whether they'll be on assembly lines or picket lines tomorrow. The United Auto Workers Union has set a strike deadline of 11 a.m. tomorrow. Negotiators have continued talking most of tonight with just a short break. Over 1,400 workers at the Toledo machining plant in Perrysburg Township will be hitting the picket lines if contract talks fail. The facility produces steering columns and torque converters. Today, United Auto Workers Union members represented by 6 locals across Ohio voted to approve a tentative contract agreement with General Motors. 2 other Ohio locals rejected the agreement. One of those locals to vote it down was the 211 over Defiance. Union leadership tells News 11 that 52.4% of the workers at the GM powertrain plant in Defiance rejected the contract, and that they may have been confused by an incorrect article written last Wednesday by the Associated Press. The report said a new agreement would not be able to guarantee work at the Defiance foundry after the products the workers currently make go out of production.
We really think there's a future here, and everybody else does. We got business up to 2012, and other business we're looking at, and we just got to make sure that everybody understands. We're not looking at it to lose.
Union leaders say they have already had an agreement with GM to bring in aluminum block casting work to the plant that would go past the time that the new agreement runs out. For the very latest from the UAW, check into WTOL.com. Click on the big red box. And for continuing coverage and the latest in the contract negotiations with Chrysler overnight, check out News 11 Your Morning. Tonight, Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm is critical of the decision by several presidential candidates to keep their names off of the Michigan state primary ballot. Barack Obama, John Edwards, and Bill Richardson withdrew their names from the January 15th ballot. Hillary Clinton and Chris Dodd remain on the ballot. The National Democratic Party is punishing states like Michigan that jump the gun and challenge Iowa and New Hampshire as first to pick.
A Lucas County man will spend nearly 2 decades behind bars for beating his girlfriend's son to death. Today in court, 27-year-old Kenneth Steinhoff pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and felonious assault. Police say he spanked his girlfriend's 22-month-old son, causing the boy's head to hit a cabinet. The boy later died. Steinhoff will serve 18 years in prison. Lawyers for a Toledo man accused of killing his girlfriend want to keep his confession out of court. 46-year-old Lawrence Jamison is charged with aggravated murder. Police say he fatally shot Tammy McRae in August. Today in court, the defense filed a motion saying Jamison was drunk when he was interrogated and was not coherent enough to waive his right to remain silent. Prosecutors say he was sober enough.
Well, it was a night to celebrate children at Sylvania Country Club.
$40. Everybody getting 40, we get $40 on it. That's fun, really, isn't it? Really, $40. $35.
Complete with an auction of themed baskets, all to benefit the Children's Rights Council of Northwest Ohio. The CRC provides services to families with kids, those services including providing supervision for court-ordered child visitation and manning neutral, safe exchange points, repairs to drop off and pick up kids in a healthy, non-threatening environment. Guest speaker tonight, Judge Silverman, who runs the Jamie Farr LPGA tournament each summer. The Farr benefits children's charities this year, including the Children's Rights Council. Good to see everybody out there.
Great crowd out there.
Nice
yeah.
crowd and wonderful people, and of course it's a great cause. You were with some great folks a little further west.
You were in Sylvania. I was out in Bryan tonight.
Yeah.
Drove longer than I actually spent time with them tonight, but it was wonderful. It was for community hospitals. It was a breast cancer program.
Sure.
I had a great turnout, and I wanted to say hi to all the folks out there who welcomed me so warmly this evening.
Good folks over Bryan, Williams County. All right, now this sounds kind of like an exam, but if Wednesday is to Tuesday, as Tuesday was to Monday, what kind of weather should we expect tomorrow?
Robert's doing that logic. Tracking the weather in the Storm Center 11 forecast next.
Also ahead, a tattooed grandmom is caught using her granddaughter to shoplift. A workplace shooting in California leaves 2 people dead. Islamic terrorists strike folks shopping in Pakistan. And all aboard for the world's first hybrid train.
You're watching Toledo's news leader, WTOL News 11. With Jerry Anderson, Chris Peterson, Robert Shields with Storm Track 11 Doppler, and Dan Cummins with sports. This is WTOL News 11 at 11. And now, tracking storms with Storm Track 11 Doppler. Here's Chief Meteorologist Robert Shields.
Sure, highs were in the 70s here today, but you don't have to look too much farther away from us to get the highs in the 50s, and that's a 40-degree high temperature there in International Falls, Minnesota, up at the northern end of your screen. That is what's coming our way. Take a look at our almanac page for today. We hit 75 degrees. The normal is 65, and the record is 86. So today, we remain well above normal. Tomorrow, we are going to well below normal. The high temperature tomorrow is going to top out in the low to mid 50s across the area. It will be breezy, it will be cloudy, and there's a chance of some light rain or some drizzle, especially into the afternoon. So get that fall jacket prepared, and you may want to tote an umbrella along tomorrow as well. Here's a look at the high temperatures. 56 for Grand Rapids, 56 in Bradner, Ottawa up to 57. And in Monroe, just 55 degrees. The clouds are coming in from the northwest, so it'll be a little warmer off to the east. In Norwalk, 56, and Bettsville, up to 57 degrees. Satellite radar imagery, we enjoyed the clear sky and the sunshine today. Here's the leading edge of that cloud cover. It's moving into Chicago. It's moving into Grand Rapids, Michigan, so it is not far off. And this is that fall cloud cover, that thick, low cloud cover that really blocks out the sun, almost like pulling a sock over the top of the area. We're not going to see the sun for a couple of days, and this is really more typical of October, isn't it? Here you can look at our Storm Track 11 Futurecast. This is our computer-generated weather forecast, and at 8 a.m. tomorrow, the leading edge of the clouds is just about right overhead. So if you get a little sun tomorrow, it'll be very early in the day, and then look at that, by 2 o'clock, a few rain showers have popped up from those clouds, and it will be cloudy right through the remainder of the afternoon. And what about Thursday? We are underneath that upper level low, so there will be more scattered rain showers and cloud cover right through the day Thursday. If we're going to brighten back up, it will not be until we get to the upcoming weekend. So tonight we'll dip to 47 with increasing clouds, and it is turning cooler out there. And tomorrow, without much sun, it's going to be tough to warm up. We'll top out at 56 at Toledo Express Airport, a chance of showers, breezy, and kind of a cold afternoon after those highs near 90, eh? Here's our 7-day forecast. Chance of showers Thursday. Friday, there may still be a few sprinkles or showers around. 58 will be the high temperature. And on the weekend, we will warm back into the 60s, which is back to normal. But, you know, if you measure the amount we were above normal, which is probably about this much.
Yeah.
Then we're only going below normal by about that much.
Yeah.
So then you average it out, we're still kind of normal as opposed to that. You remember that thing?
We told you he was doing the
All of a sudden it
logic.
becomes a Three Stooges.
I'd rather do that with Chris. No
I
offense.
know you would. The unseasonably hot weather is still the story of the month so far.
And it was by no means limited to the Midwest. This is Philadelphia, where it was a bonus for cyclists today. They were out in force in Center City as October set a record.
And check out the Jersey Beach beaches, or should I say Jersey?
Jersey.
Hundreds are acting out a scene more like July than October. See, they're a day behind us on weather, so our stuff gets out there and it's nice and warm. The boardwalks crowded as well as the beaches. Instead of pumpkin pies and hot cider, ice cream was the order of the day. Remember our story yesterday?
In Texas at the State Fair, it was so hot last night.
How hot was it?
At the Jonas Brothers band concert, some 200 people had to be treated for heat-related illnesses.
Oh.
Thousands of youngsters were out of school for their official fair day, temperatures above 90 degrees. Now, you're wondering who the Jonas Brothers are.
Oh, well, I'm not wondering. Of course, I know that. I have most of their work.
Yeah.
Who are the Jonas Brothers?
They're a Disney creation. So all the little kids know, all the little teeny boppers know them. So they were all there at the fair yesterday.
And now we know.
And now we know. That's right.
Well, more terror bombings, but you know what? This time it's not Iraq. Also ahead, the shoplifting granny, nabbed, tattoos and all.
And it's a beautiful hot air balloon festival until this happens. What caused this deadly mishap? We'll check it out next. Tonight, our trip around the world starts with terror attacks growing worse by the day in Pakistan. A powerful bomb ripped through a CD and video shop. At least 12 people were wounded. Police say Islamic militants planted the bomb that wrecked the shop in a crowded commercial area. Such attacks have become common in Pakistan's conservative Northwest, usually blamed on pro-Taliban Islamic militants who deem music and movies to be offensive to Islam. Also in Pakistan, and unrelated to terror attacks, comes a crash between a speeding train and a bus that killed at least 12 people, injured 50 others. Pakistan authorities say it was one of the worst transportation disasters in that country's history. The bus pulled into the path of the train. No one on the train was injured. Another workplace shooting, this one in Simi Valley, California. 2 people are dead, 2 others critically hurt at a tire shop. One of the dead was the gunman. The victims were employees or customers. Extremely dry weather is being blamed in part for a series of fires in Southern California along the vast expressway system there. This brush fire forced officials to close the expressway in San Diego overnight. Things got back to normal by this morning.
Well, a video was released today of a tragic hot air balloon accident. This is down in Albuquerque, New Mexico. A California woman fell to her death and 3 other women were hospitalized when the hot air balloon hit power lines. The gondola in which they were riding broke free and crashed to the ground. The balloon was part of the Albuquerque International Festival. The accident was caught on video by a passing motorist using a cell phone camera. And surveillance cameras finally caught up with a shoplifting granny. This is Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Grandmom used her 4-year-old granddaughter's baby carriage to steal various items, including several pieces of clothing. Police say they had tips on Grandmom before, but this time they caught her in the act. One police investigator said the tattoos gave her away, he said.
You think?
Well,
you were admiring them earlier.
It could be a hint. It could be a lead. Some cars are hybrids. What about trains?
We'll ride the rails and check out how they make these things go. Coming up.
I'm Dan Cummins. It's rivalry night in sports. We've got St. Francis St. John soccer and girls playoffs in the City League volleyball. Sports is next. I've never seen better volleyball in the City League. Final 4 playoffs going this week. St. Ursula not the big kid on the block anymore. Arrows taking on Notre Dame in one of the semis, and the Eagles had won the regular season match. Notre Dame setting it up, going for the kill. Maggie Burnham there for the rejection for St. Ursula. Wow, Arrows win game 1. But Notre Dame came back with a vengeance. Paige Roback slams it home right there. Eagles looking to hit their stride. It was a repeat of the regular season. Jessie Batanian kills that one. She had 17 for the match. Notre Dame wins 3-1. They'll face Central Catholic in the city championship Thursday. Irish beat Bowser 3-1 in the other semi. Big game here. The Ward drums out for St. Francis St. John's soccer. Knights with the ball over to Yadi Ali Akbar. Has the angle. It's in. Fans love him. He loves the fans. 1-0 St. Francis. Still first half, everybody around the goal. Ali Akbar tries it. Tyler Graham cleans up the mess. It's 2-0 St. Francis. Just under 4 minutes to play. St. John's Pat Pickering turns, nails it, cuts the lead in half. Titans desperate now, rushing the goalie. Pickerington goes all out, gets a shoulder for the effort. St. Francis holds on to win 2-1. One of the biggest rivalries in high school football is Central Catholic St. Francis. Irish working out this afternoon. Right now, the priority is winning a city championship. Whitmer stays undefeated. Central and St. Francis have 1 loss apiece. The winner Friday stays in the league race. The loser is out. It's going to be a huge crowd Friday. Games at Gallagher Stadium.
Right now we have the Irish Knight, which they want to get that back as it is. Now they have a chance to be the team to give us our first loss on our home field. That adds a little extra incentive in them. We have to be ready for a very emotional team coming in here and be at our best at kickoff time.
You can still vote for Big Board Friday Game of the Week. St. Francis Central among the 4 matchups. Showdown in the NWOAL. We've got Patrick Henry Arch Bowl. Deadline to weigh in is noon tomorrow. Baseball news. The Tigers agreed to bring back Pudge Rodriguez next season. They'll pay him $13 million. Yankees still haven't made a decision on firing Joe Torre, but he's not expected back as manager. Of course, the Indians are going to the ALCS Game 1 in Boston Friday. The ball club celebrates a win over the Yankees last night. Then they flew into Cleveland in the wee hours of the morning, get some rest, enjoy the moment, and begin thinking about those Boston Red Sox on Friday.
Every individual comes to the ballpark, and they've got to find a way to help us win today. And they're part of a certain area of our club, and then you've got the collective 25. So these guys understand what it means to be a great teammate and respect the game, and I think they play like that.
Back to the Yankees for a moment. The agent for Alex Rodriguez is talking like he's going to play use his option year and just to go someplace else as a free agent. Mariano Rivera not expected back, so they could just be breaking up the whole team.
Big shake-up.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe that's what they need, you know, a little jolt to rearrange things.
As good a job as Torrey did, I think they just need fresh blood in there to shake things up and see what happens.
That's right. Thanks, Dan. Next, all aboard.
We're all jumping on a most unusually powered train. Next.
We are going to enter a whole new season tomorrow. It's called fall. It will be cloudy, breezy, chilly, a high only in the 50s. Make sure you have the kids prepared or they'll be cold tomorrow, cloudy, and a high about 55, 56.
We've been waiting and waiting and waiting, but now there's something bittersweet about it finally arriving, isn't it?
I agree.
Thanks, Robert. The world's first hybrid train officially entered service today.
This is Champagne in France, where the dual mode and dual voltage train made its debut today. Now, the event was the world premiere of a hybrid that combines certain operating features for the first time ever in a train. Here's the deal. Quite technical, but I understand this. Dual mode, that's electrical and diesel, and dual voltage technology. What that does is enable the hybrid to just glide seamlessly across the entire railway network and to access electricity from any available source.
Thank you so much for that explanation.
You're so all over it, sick.
Albert Einstein. This will result in energy savings and reduced CO2 emissions. That's carbon dioxide, Jerry. As of today, 21 French regions have ordered regional express hybrid trains.
So all over.
Is there more?
No, that's done mercifully.